I told you about the time when we went to Lipovica. So I have my friend Miroslav with me to help me. Now he's making me laugh and I'm not gonna be able to do this. Lipovica. Okay, so Lipovica is a day hospital, and we went there when he was around 3 years old. Before that, so for the first 2 years of his problems, we went to every doctor. No one gave us anything. I did not learn anything. I was just confused, scared, and the scariest thing was the running. And the scariest thing was that nobody helped, and I had nothing. So 2 years, zero information, and that was one of the scariest parts. So we went to Lipovica, and Lipovica was a training camp for me. So it was a place where I started learning what approach should I have, and what exactly is my what are the goals, and how big are the goals, and what am I supposed to do, and how am I supposed to do it, and how should I look at my child. So we had two doctors. We had a speech therapy doctor named Lilia, and we had a psychologist named Ivana, and they emitted good energy and good intentions. So one had big eyes and one had big personality and big voice, and I used both. So I used those big eyes and I used that big voice. So they were not big eyes, like really big eyes. They were not physically big eyes, but her eyes were full of wonder when she's looking at the children. So she would look at my son and what he is doing, and her eyes were like, I thought that they were like big as a room, so they were huge. And the other one used that big voice, so she was like, "Oh, love, come on in." So and he liked it. So he was like smiling at them. He was not opposing to work with them. He was kind of, but he was not aggressively opposing. So he was trying to dodge them, but he would do what they give him to do. So that was cool. And I learned there to use those big eyes and big voice. So we had, words were not an option. Yeah, words were not an option when it comes to communicating with my son. So I needed to find ways of communication, and the ways of communication were touch, sound, and Lipovica was the place where I learned to utilize that sound, to fine tune it with the facial expressions. So those big eyes were like happiness, and they were like wonder, and there one thing, you cannot fake it. So you really need to have that mindset. So when I look at my son, I see all the wonders in the world, and everything was like, whatever he does is wonderful. So that was happiness and wonder, and because he needed to learn emotions, and we needed to connect. So he needed to learn emotions and how to express them, and it all needed to be exaggerated. Yeah. I use the big eyes for happiness, and when he does something that would, you can presume it would make somebody else feel sad, I would have the sad face, and also with the angry face. But he liked angry face because he could not feel real anger from me. So I needed to change and learn how to be angry, to show emotion, anger, but also not to be angry not to express that anger towards him. So I needed to learn how to contain my anger so that he would learn that too, I guess. But it was me. Big eyes and facial expressions. So we had touch. we had the sound, and now we had Lipovica was the place where I learned how to have facial, and also to use emotions and regulate them. So well, I think Lipovica was the best place in the world. So it was. We went two more times, but more because I was searching for something else. And I think I needed some kind of rest a little bit, so it was a place of rest for me also, because we were running all the time, and like I already told you, we had like 5 year long marathon of running and not sleeping.